Namandabs, 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 namandabs.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Buddhist Temple of San Diego's Dharma School service, which will be chaired by the 9th through 12th grade class. The officiant is our certified minister's assistant, Sharon Sasaki. We will begin the service with a silent meditation led by Sharon Sasaki, followed by the sutra chanting of Sanbutsuge on page 34 of the service book. As a simple note, this Sanbutsuge expresses the desire of Amida Buddha before they became a Buddha towards another Buddha teacher who offered guidance.
All the peace and happiness of the whole globe, the peace and happiness of societies, the peace and happiness of family, the peace and happiness in the individual person's life, and the peace and happiness of even the animals and so forth, all depends on having loving kindness toward each other. Kansho. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 We will chant Sanbutsuge on page 43. Kogen gigi ijin mugoku nyoze enmyo muyo tosha nichigatsu mani shuko enyo kaishitsu onpei Yunyaku jumoku nyorai yogen chose murin shogaku daion koru jippo kaimon shojin sanmai chie itoku muryo Shushoke jintai zennen shobutsu hokai gujin jin no kugo gaitai mumyo yokunu seson yomu nino shishi Jin toku muryo kukun kodai chie jin myo komyo iso shindo daisen ganga sabutsu zai shoho kado shoji みふげだつふせじょい解任精進如是三昧知恵以上五世特仏不行志願一切空空一切大安決し有仏百千億万無量大小修行五者供養一切使徒諸仏不如愚道賢書不逆非如五者諸仏世界不不影無種節道光明師匠変師匠国如是精進異人難量量が差仏国土第一五種奇妙道場超絶国如内音二無闘争ガト愛民道脱一切実法来生心熱症状意図が国家楽安穏古物神妙是が心象発の日力少々欲実法世尊知恵無下上量子孫知が信行軽量心死食毒中が行精進忍辱不賢ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがんにしくどく平等性一切どんぼ大心お浄安楽Namandabs, namandabs, 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 namandabs.
Our Sangha member Ralph Honda will now share his Dharma school message to our students.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you here this morning. Dharma school students. You want to come up closer? How about you, Juliana? Come on up. Flynn, you're just in time. Have a seat. You could kick Mr. Norman out of the way. Oh, you can sit there, Norman. It's okay. Is that it? Anyone else? I see Sensei and Mrs. Masuda are here today. Welcome to the service. Thank you for coming. Okay. I have to use my notes because Mr. Ralph has a hard time memorizing things, okay? But good morning and nice to see you today. Yeah, good morning. So how are you doing today? Doing good? Good. How's your week been? Has it been a good week? What'd you do? You watched the Godzilla movie? Oh, okay. Well, that's been a good week then. Hey, you know, when I was your age, I used to watch Godzilla movies too. But you know, that was a few years ago. So, have you had a good time in school this week? Good week, totally good week at school? Good, good. And then, how about your friends at school? Did you have fun with your friends? Yes. Andrea and Pauline are nodding their heads, yes. Okay, good. During the week, have you eaten a lot of good food, delicious foods? Totally? Okay, good. Have you gotten a lot of sleep during the week? Jaden says totally, but Flint says not. Are you listening to your parents? No? Yes and no? Okay. Okay. Are you getting along with your parents and your siblings, your brothers and sisters? Andrea has a big smile on her face. Okay, good. Well, you're probably wondering why I'm asking all these questions. But every day, we have these routines that we go through every day, kind of like practices. And so they're just part of our daily life. I have routines I go through too and practices. So in Buddhism, we have practices that affect our daily lives. And today I wanted to talk to you about the Noble Eightfold Path. Have you heard of the Noble Eightfold Path? Yeah? Okay, good. Well then, if you know about it, then my Dharma talk is done. Well, as you know, Shakyamuni Buddha. Do you know who Shakyamuni Buddha is, or who he was? Okay, yeah, he was the one who. He's a historical Buddha who lived on this earth and taught his disciples, his followers. Do you know what the word disciple means? Disciple is kind of like a student. So, you know, for you, you're disciples, you're students. Okay, so in this case, Shakyamuni, he taught his disciples the Four Noble Truths. And within the Four Noble Truths, he describes the four elements, which include life is suffering, or dukkha, the causes of suffering, realizing that life is full of suffering, and then the fourth element is finding the middle path by practicing the Eightfold Noble Path. So can any of you tell me what are the 8 parts of the Eightfold Noble Path? Juliana? It's right effort or right endeavor. Okay, perfect, great. So the Eightfold Path is there's right view, right thought, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right meditation. Very good. So through our daily practices, all of you have daily practices, right? So like everybody takes care of their body, correct? Do you take care of your body? Yeah. So what do you do to take care of your body, Jaden? Exercise? Good. How about you? How about you, Flynn? Run 10 laps? Okay. How about you, Andrea? Oh, good. All right, great. Annika? Sleep? Perfect. I like to sleep too. How about you, Tabo? Baseball, sports? Yeah, that's good. Paulina? Sleep? Okay, good. Okay. That's good. So that's part of your daily practices. You know, and also we have daily practices too, other practices like in scouting. I know, Flynn, you're a scout. Mr. Ken was a scout. I'm a scout. But in scouting, you have the scout law, right? Can you, off memory, do you know what the scout law is? Can you tell us what it is? Yeah, perfect. Okay. Oh yeah, Mr. Norman was a scout too. So the scout law is to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. So those are practices that you do as a scout. When you come to temple, you have practices also. And do some of you do some of the practices when you come to temple? Jaden? Do you? Gassho? Okay, that's good. Yes, Flynn? Chanting? Okay. How about when you enter the Hondo, what do you do? Yes, Jaden? Bow? Okay, good. So, how about when you put your hands together, what do you say? Namo Amida Butsu? Okay, good. Yeah, so those are practices when you come to the temple on Sundays. So, you know, we have all these practices, and then so just to remember that the Noble Eightfold Path is also part of your daily practice, just like the other practices that you do to, like taking care of your body, knowing the Scout Law, and any other practices that you have at home. So, do all of you have a service book? So, let's all turn to page 93. Okay, so this will be the close of my message to you. So let's all recite the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay, so even when it says leader, please recite, okay? So the first one is right view. I shall see the truth. Right thought. I shall have pure thoughts. Right speech. I shall speak truthfully. Right conduct. I shall act truthfully. Right livelihood. I shall live honestly. Right effort. I shall follow the teachings of the Buddha. Right mindfulness. I shall think of the Buddha. Right meditation. I shall recite the Butsu. Okay, please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Okay, thank you very much for your attention, and hope you had a little bit more understanding of the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay? Have a great day here at Temple, and wonderful rest of your day. The weather is really nice outside, so make sure that you have your parents take you outside today and do some things, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph Honda, for your message about the Noble Eightfold Path. Please rise for the Gatha Tsukigadeta on page 148, which means the moon has risen just like the heart of the Buddha.
Please remain standing for the recitation of our pledge, which is an insert in the service book. Want me just to read it? Yeah, go ahead. Breaking out of my shell, I will share a warm smile and speak gentle words, just like the kind Buddha. Not becoming lost in my greed, anger, and ignorance. I shall think and act with an open mind, just like the calm and peaceful Buddha. Not putting myself first, I will share in the joy and sadness of others, just like the compassionate Buddha. Realizing the gift of life I've received, I shall strive to live each day to its fullest, like the Buddha who tirelessly works to liberate all. Kansho. May my daily gratitude to all, everything and everyone who has shown me Dharma, provide me the clear vision of Siddhartha and Shinanan, to find my own path to the Pure Land. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. You may be seated.
Are there any announcements at this time?
I have one announcement. We have for those who aren't able to come on Wednesdays, we have Buddhism 123. But next Wednesday on May 1st at 7 p.m., we have a special guest, Reverend Kenji Akahoshi is going to be coming. He's not going to be speaking, but if anybody is interested in during the weeknight, Wednesday night, 7 p.m., seeing him and talking to him, he will be there. So that's just one notice.
Hi. In a few days, calendar will turn to May, and we'll have a lot of activities, including our Gotane service, which will be on May 19th. That'll be the day that we commemorate the birth of Shinran Shonin, the founder of our Jodo Shinshu teaching. And our guest speaker for that service will be Reverend Lin Sugiyama from the Arizona Buddhist Temple. So please join us for Gotane that day. And also at the end of the month is, of course, Memorial Weekend, and there are services going on. On Saturday, we'll be planning to take a bus outing out to the Imperial Valley for our annual cemetery services. So we encourage the Sangha to sign up. It's a very educational experience out to the Imperial Valley, and we hope that Dharma School families and the Sangha sign up for this event. And then, of course, there will be service on the 26th, the next day, and then on the 27th is a Community Memorial Day service at Mount Hope Cemetery. Okay, thank you.
Good morning. And then after all that busyness, we're going to go into our bazaar, which is June 2nd, which everyone wants to come to and you want to help. I know. I know you want to volunteer. So we have the list for you downstairs, and we hope that you can join us. It's one of our biggest fundraisers for the building improvements. So we hope that you can come out and help us. So I'll have the volunteer list downstairs. So please please see me or sign up. Thanks.
The Junior YBA is having their annual Mother's Day breakfast on May 12th. We're getting the info out soon, but just a warning to be ready, and you can buy them at the door too. And mothers are always free, and it's the same delicious breakfast as always. So come and get it and celebrate Mother's Day.
Hi, everybody. Don't forget the English tea next Saturday. We've been clearing out the refrigerators, so if you had anything, that needs to stay there, let us know. We took out soda cans, bottles of wine, beer. They're on the side of the refrigerator, so if anybody has a problem with that, come see me. Thanks.
Looks like tickets for Mother's Day breakfast are $6 if you're not a mother. Okay. The 9th through 12th grade class, on behalf of the Dharma School, would like to thank the following individuals for conducting today's Dharma family service. Yukari Williams for opening the service with Kansho, Certified Minister's Assistant Sharon Sasaki for officiating and leading the Sutra chanting, Ralph Honda for providing us the Dharma message, Trishia Carinio for providing us the Gatha, CMA Yukari Williams and Sharon Sasaki for setting up the Onaijin, Reverend Honda and Ken Muraoka for their technical support and live streaming of today's service, Laura Yoshida for monitoring the office downstairs, the BWA who is providing the hospitality downstairs, Mr. Norman for helping us chair today and writing our script. If there's any mistakes, you can blame him. And to you, the Gatha, here and out on the internet, for practicing interconnection with us in today's service.
Also, I wanted to thank Bill Teague, who is not here. Sometimes you don't see Bill Teague here because he's out at the MCRD spreading the Dharma to the a lot of the recruits down there. And it's a tradition that has been passed on from our previous member, Tetsu Kashima, and it's been going on for decades now. So you don't see it's just a quiet spreading of the Dharma that he's been doing. And actually today is his last day, so I wanted to thank him for spreading the Dharma to others outside the temple, because it's just not in the temple that we have Dharma. It's every day, everywhere, every moment. So. Okay.
At this time, the Dharma School students are excused to Ashoko and go to their respective classes. For those staying for the adult portion of the service, Kaytee Sumida will continue with chairing of the service. Namo Amida Butsu.
For those staying, we will start with the Vandana Ti Sarana, led by Sharon Sensei. It can be found on page 96. Thank you.
Please join me together, starting with the leader portion, starting with a Vandana and going into Ti Sarana. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Kie Butsu. Namo Kie Ho. Namo Kie So. Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida.
And now Sharon Sensei will give us the adult Dharma message.
Please join me in Gassho. When I reflect deeply on it, by the very fact that I do not rejoice at all at what should fill me with such joy that I dance in the air and dance on earth, I realize all the more that my birth is completely settled. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. So good morning, everyone. How are you? It's good to see you all on this beautiful day. So I wanted to start with a poll question. And it is, raise your hand if you have a pet dog at home. Okay. Yeah, a few dog owners out there. So raise your hand if, those who are dog owners, if your dog sometimes leaps with joy. Yeah, it looks like. Oh, really, Kaytee? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure he used to. Yeah. So, Mimi is our mixed breed rescue dog. We think possibly Schnauzer Dachshund, whom we adopted in February of 2023. And Mimi is a couch potato most of the day. Actually, her favorite place to hang out is my lap. She loves to sit on me when I'm on Zoom meetings. And when I'm typing on my computer, Mimi often puts her nose under my hands so that instead of typing, she makes me pet her. And it's one of the highlights of my week to observe Mimi's reaction when she knows we're going in the car to meet our friends, one of them who's here, Ron and Chris Tokunaga, and their dog Kiko, to walk in the park. Mimi jumps up and starts to run really fast, leaping and twirling. She expresses spontaneous, uncontained joy. So, do you remember the last time you jumped or danced with joy? For me, I think the last time was at the Warriors-Mavericks basketball game we attended, after Stephen Curry made a fall-away jump shot to tie the game with 18 seconds left. So, did you know that there is leaping and dancing with joy in Jodo Shinshu Buddhism? I recently wrote a paper about this for my IBS class on the 3 Pure Land Sutras. Sutras are Buddhist scriptures considered to be the words of Shakyamuni, the historical Buddha, who lived 2,500 plus years ago. Our school of Buddhism, Jodo Shinshu, translates as the true essence of the Pure Land teaching. There are 3 primary Pure Land sutras, which are the larger sutra, the Amida Sutra, and the Contemplation Sutra. In Jodo Shinshu, the most important is the larger sutra, which has the full name, Sutra on the Buddha of Immeasurable Life, delivered by Shakyamuni Buddha. And we actually chanted a portion of the larger sutra today when we chanted Sanbutsuge. And the core of the larger sutra are the 48 vows taken by Bodhisattva Dharmakara, who by fulfilling these vows becomes Amida Buddha, the Buddha of infinite wisdom and compassion, which is here in our Naijin in the center. The 18th vow is known as the primal vow, which is a promise that all who say the Buddha's name, Namo Amida Butsu, with an entrusting heart, will be born in the Pure Land, without exception. Going back to leaping and dancing, Mimi, as well as my own love for music and dance, inspired me to review the passages containing leap and dance with joy in the larger sutra. This phrase might sound surprising. You might be aware that Buddhist monks and nuns follow precepts. And one of the precepts is to abstain from the worldly pleasure of music and dancing. However, on the Nembutsu path, dancing has been and continues to be an expression of joy and freedom. 2 well-known historical examples are the Japanese monks Kuya and Ippen. At age 35, Kuya, who lived from 903 to 972, was the first to bring Nembutsu and Pure Land faith from elite classes to the common people in the form of a dancing Nembutsu. When children chanted Nembutsu, Kuya danced for them. Ippen, 1239 to 1289, popularized Nembutsu Odori, teaching that by chanting the Nembutsu, one could automatically gain rebirth in the Pure Land. Shinran Shonin, the founder of our Jodo Shinshu tradition, is not known for leaping and dancing, but he frequently discusses joy and also explains yuyaku, which is to leap and dance, in his writings. The larger sutra contains 4 instances of leap and dance with joy. One is a conversation between Shakyamuni Buddha and the future Buddha, Maitreya. The Buddha said to Maitreya, "If there are persons who, having heard the name of that Buddha, leap and dance with joy and are mindful of the Buddha even once, know that they receive the great benefit. That is, they acquire the unexcelled virtues." Shinran quotes and explains this passage in his notes on once calling and many calling. Leap and dance, yuyaku, he writes, leap and dance yuyaku means to dance in the air, yu, and dance on the ground, yaku. It is the form of boundless joy and manifests the state of gladness and delight. Gladness is to rejoice upon attaining what one shall attain, and delight is happiness. Attaining the state of the truly settled expresses itself in this form. The state of the truly settled is shinjin, which is awakening, or receiving the true, real, and sincere heart and mind in Jodo Shinshu. Here, Shinran describes shinjin as saying the Nembutsu and dancing in the air and on the ground. Whereas truly settled connotes stillness and calmness, Shindan is acknowledging a feeling of buoyant energy with Shinjin. At the same time, with this experience of great joy is self-awareness that may appear paradoxical. The experience of deep mind was explained by Pure Land Master Shandao. He wrote, "There are two aspects. One is to believe deeply and decidedly that you are a foolish being of karmic evil, caught into birth and death. The second is to believe deeply and decidedly that Amida Buddha's 48 vows grasp sentient beings." So these are the two cogs on the wheel of Shinjin: awareness of the immensity of Amida Buddha's great compassion, together with the awareness of one's own ego-centeredness, or what we call the three poisons: greed, anger, and ignorance. Shindan affirms his blind passions in the writing Tan Nisho. The opening passage that I read seems paradoxical. Shindan says that because he does not dance with joy, or dance and rejoice at being grasped by Amida's great compassion, but instead clings to human attachments, he realizes all the more that his birth in the Pure Land is completely settled. My understanding is that this is a path of deepening awareness that continues throughout life. Self-reflecting on one's limitations and delusions leads to recognizing oneself as impossible to enlighten or awaken. But this realization deepens one's gratitude for Amida Buddha's compassionate vow, which accepts and embraces me as I am. So today during the service, I feel like I made a few mistakes, and I'm not sure if you all noticed, but I'm very well aware of my mistakes that I made, but I feel, I still feel like, okay, I'm still accepted as I am. So that's a very, confident, freeing feeling. So in conclusion, so the other thing I was going to mention is about relating with Ralph's talk, the Eightfold Noble Path, and that it's very difficult. I mean, since I've been studying Buddhism, I feel like I try harder to, follow the Eightfold Path. But then I think when you really try, that's when you come up against, how difficult it is and how you have these human limitations. But at the same time, the embrace of Amida Buddha's compassion kind of carries you through and makes you feel, okay, come as you are. And that's what we are known for in Jodo Shinshu. So in conclusion, in the larger sutra, leaping and dancing in great joy is expressed upon hearing Amida's name and encountering Amida's light or wisdom. According to Shindan, leaping and dancing in great joy are associated with the one thought moment of Shinjin, deep and trusting in the embrace of Amida Buddha. On the other hand, one also becomes deeply self-aware of their human afflictions, or in Japanese, bonno, that are not eradicated. This dual realization elicits the response, Namo Amida Butsu. In one of his famous letters, Renya Shonin, the 8th abbot known as the restorer of Jodo Shinshu, expresses exhilaration in the reality of the Pure Land. He says, "Because of this, we are so overjoyed that we feel like dancing. Hence, the joy is more than I can contain." Here, Renyo captures my dog Mimi's spirit when she knows we're going out walking. I think this is also the spirit of Bonodori, our popular folk dancing tradition. Chanting or dancing may not automatically cause rebirth in the Pure Land, but as we remember our deceased loved ones who are now one with Namo Amida Butsu, we dance with joy and gratitude. So that will conclude my message. If you have any questions about this talk or about Buddhism in general, after the close of service, you're invited to come up to the front pews and we can chat or Q&A. I'm far from an expert, unlike Sensei, who is present here, Masuda Sensei, but I'll do my best to answer any questions. At this time, please join me again in Gassho. When I reflect deeply on it, the very fact that I do not rejoice at what should fill me with such joy that I dance in the air and dance on earth, I realize all the more that my birth is completely settled. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you. And could everybody please rise first for the recitation of the three treasures on page 91, followed by the Gatha Ondokusan on page 128. And you can recite it with me, starting where it says leader. Three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves our supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And now please turn to page 128. Ondokusan. Yorai dai ino ondoku wa miyoko ni shite mo hozu beshi jishu chishiki no ondoku mo hone o kurakite mo shasu beshi. You may be seated for final meditation. Through the glittering starry skies may be clouded over in the storm. When I recite Namo Amida Butsu, Shinran Sama will come to light my way. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And that concludes the service. You're welcome to come up. Oh, Ralph has an announcement. Sorry.
Sorry, I should have made this announcement while the Dharma School was here. But last night, I got a phone call from Avis. She's up in Mountain View attending the Dharma School Teachers Conference. And she shared the sad news with me that our former resident minister, Reverend Akio Miyaji, passed away earlier this week. And so she was having a conversation with Reverend Miyaji's nephew, Reverend Takashi Miyaji, and he informed her of his passing. And so details are, she didn't know any of the details, but when you come out for Oshoko today and burn incense, please burn incense in memory of Miyaji-sensei. Okay, thank you.
Any other announcements? Hopefully more pleasant. Okay, you're welcome to come up and offer incense, and there's hospitality down in the main dining room. And I have an announcement. There is a bucket full of aeonium cuttings, if anybody wants any. They're down by this back stairwell at the bottom. So that's it.